Hey everyone, I'm Melissa from Knitting the Stash, and this is a quick tutorial about how I care for my woolens, all my sweaters that you guys see in all these episodes. So I want to take you into the washroom. I'll show you what I do to take care of my sweaters after a long winter's wear, getting ready to put them away for spring and summer. Generally speaking, I wash them with a little bit of Eucalyptus soap. Put them on a nice sweater drying rack, let them get really dry, make sure you don't put away wet sweaters, and then I'll do things like depill them or mend them if they need it. And then the final step is to lock them up in the sweater tub, which is basically like a Sterilite or like one of those hard plastic tubs with the lid that kind of like latches on. That keeps out any creepy crawlers that might be in the yarn room. Believe me, I keep the yarn room as clean as possible. But that way, if your sweaters are clean, you're not going to have skin and food or any of that kind of stuff like on your sweaters, and that's really what the moths and other creepy crawlers want to eat. So the more you can wash them, dry them so they don't get moldy, and take care of them, put them away, then by the time you need them next winter, you'll be able to pull them out and they'll be as good as new. So let's head over to the washroom so I can show you the wash station and the sweater drying rack, and then we'll do a little depilling and pack everything up and put it away. So a lot of you were asking about the new sweater drying rack that I posted on Instagram, and here's a full view of it. It's up in our laundry/bathroom. You can see the laundry equipment in the back there, and it doesn't take up too much space. It's about the size of the work sink in the back there, and it has 6 screens. And I love these screens because, as you can see, they allow air to come through the bottom and the top. And there's a hat there too. It's good for hats and sweaters. I've got 5 sweaters on here right now, and even with the rainy weather outside, everything dried really well. I keep the fan on in the bathroom just to help with the evaporative process. And I just really think that this is a nice structure. It's got metal for the actual arms of this drying rack, and then plastic, nice hard plastic joints here to connect each of these racks. You can see they're large enough to lay out a full-sized sweater. My sweaters tend to be somewhere between 36 and 40 inches at the bust, so you can get a sense of how wide they are. They're nice and square though, so you can really lay them out pretty well and pretty completely. And each of these will come off, so you could stand these up individually if you wanted to, if you had a lot of room, but the nice thing about this is that they stack, and I didn't find any issue with having the sweaters stacked on top of each other in terms of dripping or anything like that. Now I do wash all my sweaters in the work sink, and I tend to use this big old bowl from IKEA and a little bit of Eucalyptus soap in the mix there. I tend to go a little lukewarm with that, and then I'll smush them out with a towel, kind of step on it in the bathroom a little bit, and then once they've got most of that drippy water out, that's when I spread them out on these screens. So once they're done drying on the screen, I'm going to do a little depilling. You can see that this one here needs a little bit of a shave, so we're going to do a little sweater shaving and depilling on this guy, and I'll show you that in a minute. And this guy needs a little mending. This is the sleeve of my Alias sweater, and after a long season of wear, it usually needs to be mended. Luckily, it's a top-down sleeve, so I'll just pop that out and take the stitches up on a needle and fix that up pretty quickly. All right, I've brought my sweater into the yarn room, and I think you can see that it has some kind of regular pilling. It's a woolen spun yarn that I used here, and so there are little pills that want to come off, and some of them are easy to remove, but most of them you don't want to pull on because you don't want to rip the sweater in any kind of way. So what I use to clean off my sweaters, to depill them, is the gleaner here, and this guy is a nice little handheld device. It comes with 3 different possible heads for it, and this is for kind of like delicates. This is the hardcore heavy pilling, and then the one I've put on here is for everyday pilling. And you can see, just to remove it, you just push this guy and it pops right off. So we're going to do a little gleaning over here. All right, we're done with the depiling process on this guy. You can see we've got quite a little pile of goofies that came off of it. And we're ready to put this guy away for the winter. So we're gonna go over to the sweater tub. This is, like I said, a nice big Sterilite container with a locking lid. And yes, I do keep it on the floor, but I've never had any problem with that. If you wanted to, you could raise it up with a little couple of pieces of 2x4 or something like that if you wanted to get it off the floor. If your floor is kind of moist or you're worried about ants or anything else that you want to keep it off the floor. So we will unlock our lid here. See, it's nice and tightly wound. And here's the sweater stash. So this guy is going to go in here. And it looks like it's going to be at home with all of its sweater friends. And we'll close it up tight, lock the lid, and that's ready until next season. As always, I hope the little tour of the wash and stash is helpful to you guys, and I'd love to hear in the comments how you guys wash your woolens, keep them safe, and keep them ready for the next season. So leave a comment below, and I'd love to share our knowledge about how we take care of our sweaters. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Take care.